Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. A double honor to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught us his truth and who rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and mercy be unto the hopeful elect. Back again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazad. This lesson is edifying to, those of you that are out there that believe with their whole heart, mind, body, and soul. You sis at Akim, and you few sisters that subscribe into this truth, that are watching for these prophecies and patiently awaiting the return of Yahweh Shai to come and redeem the elect. I was thinking after I did this video called Be Ready to be Kicked Out of Society, in which in this video I brought out an article dealing with the UK and how their government, contracted, two firms to create software to track individuals through something known as a freedom passport, which is a digital passport. On your phone, you pull up a QR barcode and each individual person gets their own barcode, and how this is just a step closer towards the RFID chip being implemented, which is the mark of the beast. Because everyone doesn't have cell phones, everyone don't have smartphones or, access to the internet or the ability to, pull up, a QR barcode, through an app on their phone, to be tracked down and to be traced and to prove if they have, a negative reading in regards to this Crown Royal 19. So Esau is just taking a step closer towards, fully implementing his RFID chip and brain implant system, in which the RFID chip and brain implant will work the same as a QR barcode scanner, or just a regular barcode, or UPC, which the word UPC is Universal Product Code, and it's the code that you see on the back of any item that you go to, the store to purchase. And it has the lines, on the back of it, with the numbers. And those three long numbers, which are called guard bars, they're in the value of 6. So on the back of that UPC code, those three long bars represent 666, which that same technology is going to be inside the RFID chip and the microchip, which they're going to use. And they're going to use this in replace of a system, like the freedom passport, or a digital passport, or whatever passport that they have set up, to track those individuals. At this moment, they're making a big thing out of this Crown Royal 19, and the people that receive the vaccine. Well, according to, their officials, or the people that they look towards for wisdom, their wise men, such as their scientists and doctors, they're saying that you will have to keep getting vaccines, every some odd months, to keep you under an immunity. And we know this is just a fear propaganda, through Esau to pretty much lead people towards this other system that he's going to set up. So he's setting it up right under your eyes. The RFID chip and the brain implant are already here, but he has to make it mandatory for people to get on it. When people receive the RFID chip and the brain implant, which is the mark of the beast, when you go into the book of Revelation, and I'm going to go to it. Give me just 1 second. The book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, and the 16th verse, which reads, it says, "And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And they that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Eventually, this system is going to be mandatory worldwide. And whether you are a great, small, rich or poor in a society, whether you free or bond. They're going to force you to receive their mark. And that word for mark is the word charagma. All right, whether you receive it in your right or your left hand, whether you receive it in, one of your 8 fingers or your 2 thumbs, whether you receive it in your arm or your elbow, on your torso, your back, wherever you receive this mark, it doesn't matter, because you've made a covenant or a compact with the devil, all right, to be an ally, to be in league with him, all right, to bow down and to worship him and for him to be your master, all right, you will be destroyed, and we understand that the dollar bill is going to decrease, to the point of being worthless. They're sending out these stimulus checks, 600 ahead, and there's a push for it to be made 2,000 ahead. And there's an article from, give me just a second, and I'll pull it up, because it's not on this device, and the spirit just brought it back to mind. I was looking into it. I don't remember exactly where it's from, but I know that it was involving, Obama, and it could be from RT, and it is from RT. It says the economic policy voiced under Obama and Clinton says 2,000 stimulus checks could overheat economy, and 600 is too much, and even 600 is too much. So just constantly putting, this fiat currency into circulation devalues the dollar bill, and eventually it will lead to a hyperinflation, but it's causing nations around the world to lose their trust in the dollar, and once they turn away from the dollar and stop using it, that further devalues it. So they have to scrap this currency and come up with something else for people to be able to buy and sell with, for people to be able to purchase with. And they're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because they ultimately also want to gain total control over the people. See, they gain the control over the people, forcing them into, the agreement to use the dollar bill, anyway, as a world reserve currency. But someone could just stop trading, ignore their sanctions, and do business with another country anyway, if they put sanctions on that particular country. And that's how they stop a country from being able to go outside of their guidelines, by putting fear in them that they'll put sanctions on them. Those nations find their way of getting around it. But if you can put a device inside of each individual person, around the world, you can have a total control over the population. You can have a total control over everyone. And you're causing everyone to pretty much be a slave unto you and to obey your orders, your law and order, your rule of thumb, your governingship. And if they don't, you can just cut that person off and stop them from having access to things such as being able to buy and sell. Now, when you go into a place to purchase something such as a Walmart, or a Sam's Club or Costco, or to, go to any convenience store or whatever kind of store, you would need a charagma. And what is a charagma? A charagma is a thing inserted. It's something that is implanted inside of you. It's Esau's carnal mark, which is the RFID chip, which is what? A badge of servitude. Now, the charagma is the RFID chip, but then you have the karax. The karax is a pill or state, or pill say, which is the syringe that they'll put the charagma inside of the person with. And you have the root word of karax, which is grapho. And the grapho would be the information that is written on the charagma, which is the RFID chip, which your grapho means, all right, to fill with writing, all right, to write to one, an example, by writing in a written epistle to give information directions. So once they scan the RFID chip, it will give information to the computer, such as the age, and the name, the date of birth, the address, all right, the health information, whether a person is compliant or not, whether a person is disruptible or not. All right, it would give the money that a person, has. It would give all of the information on this person, once it's scanned. So this Freedom Passport, which they are going to have people download apps on their phone, which has an updated status on them concerning the Crown Royal 19, isn't nothing but just a step towards the RFID chip system. They're just setting that system up right before your very eyes. And instead of a QR scanner, or a barcode scanner, it will just be a chip inside of you that works just like a QR scan or works just like a barcode scan. But instead, there's information within, the chip that is sent to a computer. And once they scan, to the computer or to the person that's scanning it, so they'll be able to take money off of it. They'll be able to put money on it to refund it. If you get, your state taxes or your federal taxes, you file your taxes, it'll come directly on your chip. All of the money flow, around the world will flow back into the rich elite banking families, and they will have everybody totally under their subjugation, because everybody will be a complete slave unto them. Now, Esau is disrupting life. He's disrupting, society. All right, he's taking away your ability to go to venues. He's going to take away your ability to go to stores. You won't be able to go into a store. There'll be somebody guarding there, and they'll ask to scan your hand in order to get in, or maybe they'll even have robots that do it in the regards of like a machine that automatically scans you when you walk in, and it can detect if you have it or not. Which there's stores that they're setting up, such as the Amazon Smart Store, which is pretty much it reads your phone, without you having to scan it. It automatically scans your phone and logs you into your Amazon, system. So the same thing will be how the chip works. And if you are in there and you just taking stuff off the shelf and you don't have that chip, then it'll alert the authorities, who will come and seize you and take you away. Be ready, to be kicked out of society, because those that don't have the RFID chip or the brain implant would be totally demonized. All right, and you'll be looked at as contagious. You'll be looked at as being dangerous, and they'll have a place for you, which they'll take, people and put them in, concentration centers, and they'll probably give you a time period to recant, or to apostatize. They'll try you and tempt you to give up on your faith. And then after a certain amount of time, if you don't, they'll, guillotine, certain individuals. But you have a lot of the righteous that escape the hands of them through keeping their faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because the scripture says that my servants shall eat. The scriptures also say that in the time of famine, or in the time of war, he would keep you back from the power of the sword, and he would keep you back from the famine. But you're going to have a lot of people who take Esau's lie in their right hand, or take it in their left hand, or anywhere in their body. They're going to make a covenant or a compact with the devil just to receive deliverance of life. But you're going to be destroyed by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Isaiah 44:20. It says, he feedeth on ashes, a deceived heart hath turned him aside. that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, is there a lie in my right hand? Because eventually they're going to say, well, look, we can't just keep giving vaccines, to everyone every certain so amount of time. They're going to say, okay, well, look, we can just dead that and we can make it all go away this one time just by giving you this RFID chip. And for those that comply, they're going to think that by taking it, they're delivering their lives from this sickness or this disease, or from famine, or from death. But really, you're taking a lie, because that's not true deliverance. It's not true salvation. All right, true salvation comes through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So those that wait into the end, all right, those shall be saved. All right, those that remain faithful, they will be saved. But anyways, that was just a little bit more information, to add to that lesson. I hope this is edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Until the next time, Shalom.